What's up, guys? My name is Bobby Robinson, or for everyone on socials who know me as CRG Bear, and today we are going to be bringing you another episode of the Around the Grounds, and it's going to be a little bit different, more deep diving down into this new rivalry that's been heating up. And mind you, I am going to review week 4 and week 5. I do apologize for not having an episode out last week. We've been having some internet issues, which is why it's been late on all of our episodes on the channel, not just Around the Grounds. We've been having some late episodes over on the Cross. We have not yet to release the fully charged segment on Fridays, and we have not yet to drop out the College Pipeline or Tipoff series just yet. We just have 2 active shows running on the network at this moment. The other shows, due to the internet issues, I've been trying to just keep to 2. I am going to try to introduce the rest of these mini shows for you guys. That way you guys can enjoy the content that we have planned, because there is definitely some stuff that we want to discuss and talk about before it becomes irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, you know how media guys is. It changes on the blink of an eye. News changes every single day, so just being on top of it is what we're going to plan on doing. But I just wanted to let you guys know that we're trying our best to get the content out. We've had some net issues, so bear with us, but we're here. Now, what we're going to be talking about is Manchester City versus Arsenal. Now, guys, we understand that the last 2 seasons of the Premier League, Manchester City and Arsenal have been neck and neck, coming in first and second, with Manchester City obviously being the winners. Last year was a little bit more close for contest than 2 seasons ago, as well as in point differential, but we had a chance to see an early season view of what this team would look like. Now, potentially we will obviously have another game, and that game would probably be a decider on how the league turns out overall, just based on how I see the league forming. But getting down into it, the game yesterday was absolutely incredible. Erling Haaland scored his 100th goal and 105th appearance for.
I don't think I'm born with it. I think I've been working on it a lot, and then it comes natural for me. When I was young, I was like most of us watching football. I saw when the people were celebrating, and then I was like, oh, I would love this to be me. It's not easy, because the club kind of was a bit used to not playing with a striker. This was a perfect challenge for me to come in and show everyone that City can become even better with a striker. I think I did this. I'm also happy that there's so much more I can become better on. I'm happy I'm still young, because I am, and I can improve so much. So I think I'm in a perfect place to keep on developing. I just love the feeling, and that's why I do it.
Manchester City in a Premier League match. Then you've seen the likes of, let's see here. I'm thinking it was Gabriel gets the header that scores to draw it up. No. Gabriella gets the header that actually gives us 2-1. Before the second goal comes in from Manchester City. I believe Ricardo Calafiori scored a banger of a goal outside of the box. New signing, first full debut as an Arsenal player. I don't know why, that just kind of like I had a brain fart and didn't know my own players, but Ricardo Calafiori scored a banger of a goal, and then obviously following that at the round, I think it was at the 45-minute mark, Gabriel scored another header. Now, what really I felt like caused us to collapse, and excuse me, I'm going to say us as in me being an Arsenal fan, but I felt like what caused us to collapse was the Leonard Trossard 2 yellow cards back-to-back that occurred and ended up getting him sent off. That I felt like was unnecessary. Officiating is questionable. Am I going to say Leonard Trossard didn't test the officials this game? He definitely did, but at the same time, I feel like the officials kind of went to their pockets a little early. Now, you've seen, as stated, there was another goal that was really late. Even though playing a man down, Arsenal played very well. They sent in like Ben White. They made some really good sub-ins to kind of reinforce that defensive aspect. But a late goal comes in from John Stones literally at the 98th minute mark. And pretty chaotic. You see the end of the game going down to 2-2. Excuse me, I kind of got distracted on the outside. You see the game go down to 2-2, and then the game ends and they're shaking hands, and Erling Haaland spoke to Mikel Arteta saying humble, I believe that's what he said. But and then Gabriel Jesus got in Erling Haaland's face. I'll probably just play the clip up, makes it easier. I found this entire engagement between players just it shows how much it means to the player. And then you see I think it's Bernardo Silva. As stated, I wasn't a real fan of what Bernardo Silva had to say about, you know, the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal, and, you know, his comparison in that. I'm not going to repeat what he said. I can just bring up a quote that I've seen on Twitter, as well as a video. If I can be able to find it, it'll be the B-roll. You guys can see that. But all in all, before we get off, and I'm not going to go too much off into, you know, the story of it. It was 2-2 at the end of the day, which in my opinion probably was the game of the week. In all honesty, game of the week. You're not going to see anything better than that. Now I am going to review match day 4 as well as match day 5. As stated, Southampton end up losing to Man United. They end up having to play a man down after a red card was given. Liverpool completely kind of got shocked with Nottingham Forest taking a surprising victory 1-0 to them. Manchester City during the week 4, this is prior to the game that I just recently covered, they beat Brentford 2-1. Fulham and West Ham took a draw 1-1. Crystal Palace and Leicester City took a 2-2 draw from each other. Ipswich Town and Brighton took a 0-0 draw. Aston Villa beats Everton 3-2. Bournemouth takes a loss to Chelsea 1-0. Arsenal in this week 4, beat Tottenham Spurs in the North London Derby, and we end up winning that 1-0. Gabriel winning a beautiful header to score off with a corner kick by Bukayo Saka. Now we have Wolves and Newcastle taking it 2-1, and then we switch over to match day 5, which is this weekend. You see Chelsea beating West Ham 3-0. That Chelsea team is looking a lot different under new management, but you also have to take into consideration some of the new play pieces that they got over there, like Jadon Sancho, which by far is crazy enough. Jadon Sancho's in blue. I feel like Erik ten Hag really flipped. I don't know why that relationship couldn't work. You have such a great talent, and you just mismatch management. I'm not going to say too much on Man United. I've discussed how I felt about them and Erik ten Hag's reign of terror, which hasn't been looking too good for him. Aston Villa beats Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-1. Fulham beats Newcastle 3-1. Southampton and Ipswich Town draws. Tottenham Spurs beat Brentford 3-1. Leicester City and Everton draw 1-1. Liverpool beat Bournemouth 3-0. Crystal Palace and Man United draw the game. Now, like I said, I want to mention that Onana double save. That was by far the best I've seen Onana being in the Premier League. He was that guy in Inter Milan. I mean, I feel like he was a good core piece around that Inter Milan team. But I feel like now he's kind of settling in Man United, especially having the season he had last season, which wasn't too good. But I'm gonna pull up the save. Like, that save was magical. But aside from that, Brighton and Nottingham Forest 2-2 draw with a red card sent on Nottingham Forest. And then you look at Man City and Arsenal game, which I just kind of got to go over. Now, match day week 6 is going to be interesting. Now, regarding the Champions League action, there was a lot of huge upsets. Prime good example. Real Madrid played and performed like Real Madrid does. Arsenal ends up drawing their games against with David Raya making some incredible saves. As stated, I'm not going to go too deep in Champions League because I think I want to do that justice. I thought I mentioned it in the earlier part of the show, saying that I was going to give you guys the details, but because it's the Champions League, I do want to give it justice, so I might hold off onto that for a different episode. But all in all, that is just your around the grounds coverage. My take on it, like, I feel like a rivalry's cooking up with Manchester City and Arsenal, and obviously those two teams are in the peaks of their prime when it comes to seeing the performances they are going to be seeing. You also have Manchester City being charged with 113 charges of financial fair play, or FFP, financial fair play, which is being reviewed by the FA, and that's actually going for the next 4 to 5 months. We won't be seeing some type of review until like February, so that's something to consider, because that can be a huge, how many points they deduct based on whatever, if they decide to take trophies, if they're innocent, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of stuff going on that can change the dynamic of what Manchester City looks like in about, like, I would give it a full year's time. And then you have Arsenal chasing their tail and developing a really solid team, only adding to the addition with Calafiori. And he showed his worth on his first official debut match for Arsenal, scoring a banger of a goal. This league's going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Please make sure you guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content. We will be back week 6. I will have a individual video covering Champions League. As stated, I still haven't dropped my U.S. men's national team stuff yet, and it's really because of time, guys. Once the off season for me and my youth soccer team ends out, I'll have a lot more time to be able to put together those type of documentaries and things like that. So stay tuned to the action. Make sure you check out the other shows like The Cross on Wednesday. We're going to be dropping the College Pipeline on Saturdays. We're going to be talking about the Fully Charged segment, which is going to be like our hot take segment, over on Fridays. So make sure you stay tuned to all the content, guys. But I'm your host, Bobby Robinson, or for everyone on social, you know me as CAG Bear, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.